Hello there, and I'm going to talk to you for a little while about this picture of the Rosetta Comet. Now, you can find this picture in a lot of places on the net, but it seems that nobody's taken a very close look at it. So let's have a quick look. And I scanned around it at around 4 times magnification, and I found a few areas of interest, and let's go through the most interesting ones. And the first thing I noticed is that there seems to be 3 areas where odd things are going on. Obviously odd things are going on. There's other areas as well which you could describe as slightly strange, but then what is strange for a comet? And some of the weirdest things are this area around here seems to have an awful lot of flattened but regular structures, including some circular areas, and there's some circular areas around here as well that have these kind of petal arrangements at regular intervals around there outside. Now this doesn't seem to me to be a very natural feature, and neither does what looks like a flattened tower. Now remember, this is a comet, so it sees enormous heat. So we could just be looking at things that are burnt off irregularly, but it doesn't look very irregular to me. Then I started thinking, well, what would have happened? I mean, there's other areas around here like this peculiar square looking shape, but what would have happened if this comet on its journey through space had actually hit a structure? The structure would have been mashed and mangled against the surface of the comet and then melted. I'm not suggesting that that structure had to have been inhabited. It could have been abandoned. Remember that scientists are saying that there could be civilizations in the universe that have been around for millions, if not billions of years. So if that's the case, it makes sense that there'll be structures around that they've left and abandoned, just as we abandon an old city when it is of no use to us, just like the Aztecs abandoned their stone cities. Why would people not at some point abandon structures in space? And this could be what is left of one of these structures, so let's have a bit of a closer look still. Now here's a close-up of this little area around here, and you can see all these plate-like structures, and they all seem to be in a similar alignment. They're rectangular, and it looks like it almost looks like writing where these dark lines are. I'm sure it's not, but it kind of looks like someone's written the word S-T-E-A, maybe M, steam, across it. I doubt if that's what it is, but there you go. But you can see there's these room-like structures, and they all seem to be a similar scale and a similar alignment. And this is the sort of thing that you'd expect if a spaceship which had a rectangular internal structure of columns and beams collapsed. And as you can see, they're not all in the same alignment. Sometimes there's a feature and then they all go off into a different alignment, but they're all a similar scale. And I find that quite puzzling. And then we come to this thing which I would describe as like a collapse radio tower. And in fact, if you look, this feature of it here does seem to go down a bit further than I've actually cut it out, but hey. And this is a blow up of that area, and you can see you've got this kind of almost like an antennary structure at the top here, and you can imagine this as being something that's been blasted. It's collapsed against the side of the comet, then it's been melted as the comet passes by the sun, and it's just left a mark. obviously it's a shadow of its former self. One time it could have been a huge structure. Now down here, forget about the shadows, which does look rather like some sort of a man, but it's nothing like that. It's just shadows. But if you look, what you've got is these two circular features. One there, and one there. In the centre, you've got a hole, and it's the same size, as near as damn it, between that one and that one. Then around the outside you've got these regular dimples, and it looks to me like you've got something like 16 of those dimples around there. And this one's a bit more mangled, but you've got a similar sort of thing. Looks really peculiar. It doesn't really look like anything that you would expect to find in a natural sort of rock formation. I find that quite difficult to explain. This whole area here. It's almost like, you know, the end of a pair of ship engines or something. Who knows? Then up at the front, you've got another arrangement which looks a bit peculiar, and you've got some hexagonal cells down here. I mean, this is probably the least, if you like, suspicious area, but I thought it was worthwhile enlarging. So yeah, and there's that area down there. So what does that look like when you enlarge it? Let's have a look. And you can see that once again that is the same sort of size, and it's got the hole in the middle, same sort of size. So there's some peculiar looking repetitive features down here. Very odd. Anyway, could all be nothing, but I just thought I'd point it out, having noticed it. Thanks very much. If you like, please like and subscribe, and share, of course. Thank you.